All right, we've come to the last part of the syllabus orientation regarding your grade and how do you get it. So I do a basic point system, and you may have heard of weighted grades before, and technically my grades are weighted, but I do weight them simply by giving some things more points than others because I like to about 60% of the grade to be on exams and quizzes. So saying that, there's a plagiarism quiz that's due in week 3. It's a multiple choice worth 10 points. You can take it as many times as you want till you get all the questions right. Then there are 15 chapter quizzes, and sometimes they go over multiple chapters. Whatever we're covering for the week is open to be on that multiple choice quiz. So 15 of those suckers, 225 points in total. And then there are 4 essay exams, and those are open book, open notes. The multiple choice quizzes are time limit, 40 minutes for each one. But the essay exams, they go over the unit that we're studying. So there's no comprehensive, meaning going over the entire class essay exam. You just get one essay exam per unit, open book, no time limit. You do have to cite your sources, and you are limited. You are to use only textbook and course material only. No outside sources on the essay exams. If you use outside sources, get a 0. So make sure that you don't ignore the book and lecture and then get to the essay exams and you have to go back and read everything. That would stink. So stick first to the textbook and lecture material, and then branch out from there on the discussion boards, because those essay exams you'll only be able to use course material. Okay, then required discussion board points, 195 points, and then the analysis paper is 60 points. So let's talk a little bit more about those discussion board points. So the discussion boards are same due date all the time, Sundays. Essay exam, same due date all the time, Wednesdays. I try to stick to some predictability in this schedule. But the discussion boards are each one is open for 2 weeks. In the first week, you have to answer the questions. In the second week, you do the reply posts. But in that second week, a new discussion board will open. So there's overlap. So for example, in week 1, you'll have a set of discussion questions for the first few chapters, or first chapter of the book, chapter 24. And you'll work on answering those. And then in the second week, you'll have to do your replies for that discussion, excuse me. But then a new discussion will also open up for the next set of chapter questions. And the purpose behind this is trying to make sure I give everybody adequate time to get the replies done. And that's because most, not all, but most students wait until the due date or the day of to complete the homework. And so if I make the replies and the homework all due on the same day, that's problematic because everybody's still working on the homework, hard to reply when nobody's posted. The only other option is to try to make the homework due earlier in the week. But I feel like my high school students, but beyond that, just my students in general, struggle with like midweek due dates for the homework. Puts a lot of pressure on you to get all your homework done early in the week. So I found that the most flexible way is to have that 2-week window for the discussion boards. On the discussion boards, make sure you take a look at what's required both for the post and the replies. So for the post, there's a minimum word requirement. There is citations are required, and you need to answer the question completely and provide relevant examples from the course material. If these are not opinion-based questions, you need to show me that you've read the material, understand the material, and cite your sources so I know that you've been using course material. A full work cited page is not required if you're just using our class material. A simple in-text, or sometimes called a parenthetical citation, that's where in parentheses you put the author's last name and the text and the page number. Or you can put Gardner-Mendez Lecture 1. That's sufficient, and you can embed those in your answers. But if you use outside course material, you do need to also add a works cited page for that material so that we've got a full source citation so we know where to go to look at the material that you used. All right. Now, here's the kind of confusing part. So there's going to be in total 225 points worth of discussion board questions that are posted. Each week is worth 15 points. So 225 points in total, but you only need 195. So that's 30 flex points, meaning what you could do is skip 2 discussions, each worth 15 points of your choosing. I'll mark them as excused. You don't need to get pre-clearance. You know, just pick two to skip. And those do not count against you because you only need 195 points worth of discussion board points. So that's one option. You could also do them all, and I can put 25 points towards extra credit column. Or if you miss some discussion boards, I don't mean miss, I mean rephrase that. If you don't get full credit for some discussion boards, maybe you didn't fully answer the questions, you didn't cite your sources, maybe you didn't finish your replies, I don't know. You can also use those flex points to do a couple extra discussions, and then I shift them over, those points over to bump up your lower scores on other discussion boards. So however you want to use the flex points, right? Have them totally excused, 2 discussions, that's fine. Finish them all, and I'll shift 2 of them over to the extra credit column. That's okay too, but you've got 30 flex points, 2 discussions that you can in fact skip, and you do not need prior clearance by me to skip them. You just choose on your own which ones you want. Okay. So again, just a couple reminders on your discussion boards. You got to answer the questions completely, provide relevant examples, cite your sources. Your answers should be at minimum 500 words for the post. Your reply posts need to add to the discussion. They need to discuss the course content, historical themes, historical ideas and concepts. These are not English class peer reviews where you say you provided a lot of research in your answer. Your answer is clearly written. That's not what we're doing. We're discussing the course content, right? And at minimum, you need 200 words. That's a minimum. You're free to go over that per reply post. So make sure that maybe the first few times you copy and paste your replies into like a Word document, check the word length, because sometimes students struggle with this. This is not a 1-sentence reply. It needs to be a solid like 5 to 8 sentence paragraph reply. What your reply post or response post should not do: be overly critical. Concentrate on your peers' ability to write without grammar errors. Comment on the quality at all of their homework. It's not the point of the replies at all. And then the analysis paper, don't stress. We're going to go over that in more depth when we get closer to it. If you may have heard from AP classes of a DBQ, like a document-based question. It's something kind of similar to that, but we'll cover it. There'll be a whole video on it. So don't stress that one yet. That's not due until later in the class. Okay. If you have any questions, what can you do? You can call me, you can email me, you can text me. So many ways to get a hold of me. Weekends are fine as well. As long as I'm within cell phone range, I will get back to you ASAP. Other than that, go ahead and get busy on the first assignment, which is the introduction post. And later today, the week 1 chapter 24 material will also be up and posted, and you can get busy on that.